Hey guys, Muffson here with All Ages of Geek. We are here at the red carpet premiere of Darkwind Season 3. We are going to be talking with some of the cast and also with some of the showrunners to talk about what to expect for the new season. So hope you guys tune in to All Ages of Geek so you can check out all the happenings of what's going on for the new season. Hope you guys enjoy this video. All right, John, thank you for being here. One of the showrunners of Darkwind Season 3. What can you talk about what's coming up for this new season?
For Season 3 you're talking about? Well, it's a monster mash. There is a Navajo monster called the Eitso in the show. And this monster haunts Joe Leaphorn. And he spends a lot of time trying to exorcise this monster from within him, and then lo and behold, that monster pops out into the real world.
What was the journey like trying to, being able to bring these stories to life? Because, it's such a huge following of these books, and then being able to adapt them into television.
Well, adapting novels to television and probably feature films is really not as easy as it looks. You might think you've got a lot of material to start with, but the mechanisms of storytelling are completely different. In these particular novels, they were written in the 70s and 80s of the last century, so storytelling has moved along quite a bit and changed quite a bit. There's some very sensitive indigenous material in these novels that we don't feel is appropriate to show on film, so we have to do a lot of creating to kind of figure out, what we can do that feels appropriate and still kind of adapt the spirit of the novels, which are beloved by millions of people and everybody on our writing staff and on the show as well.
One last thing I want to ask you is, if you can describe this new season in just a few words, what would they be?
Monster mash.
Perfect way to summarize it, for sure. Thank you so much.
All right.
Here with Abe Martinez, talking about Season 3 of Darkwind.
What's your name, man?
Muffson.
Muffson. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So why don't you talk a bit about what we can expect for Season 3 of regards to your character?
I think Sylvia Washington's more intimidating.
My guy retired at the end of Season 2, but
Depends on if you have something to hide.
didn't last. He got a job with another department nearby.
Yeah.
He can't let go. That's his problem. He can't let go. And also, he has a vested interest in what happened in Season 2. At the end of Season 2, he sort of looked the other way, which, as a police officer, is, he feels. I think he feels like Leaphorn is a son to him. So he wasn't gonna. He was gonna look the other way, thinking that it might be over now. But what happened in Season 2 turns out became like a launching pad for Season 3, as opposed to the end of something. It was really also the beginning of something even more important.
And that made it less scary. And then, of course,
Extraordinarily well written,
fight some zombies.
scary as all get out,
Not scary anymore.
soulful,
But at first
full of a
it
lot
actually I was very
of
scared of the
pure
zombies.
spirit, and beautiful to look at and emotional to feel. It's just an extraordinary 8 episodes of television. It's extraordinary.
Yeah, because you have like that inner conflict going on, but then you're also starting kind of a new journey. After leaving the department, and now you're just kind of have that closeness with one of the characters.
Yeah.
So, how important was it for you to be able to, kind of tap into that conflict, like with your character?
Yeah, it's critical to be able to tap into the conflict. And I got to say, one thing that's surprising, or maybe shouldn't be at this point, I've been doing this for a long time, but you can find anything in yourself if you're really open to it and honest about it. You can go and find every color imaginable. We all carry it all. We just keep a lot of it buried. But one of the graces of being an actor is, your job is to not bury it, to go looking for it and find it. And, the things you are capable of doing that you can't imagine how it's true, it's real. And once you start to understand that you can find all that in yourself, it makes the work get a lot easier and lets you go places that let the audience. I came through the airport today and I had two men of a certain age look at me and go, "Dude, sir," and I know what they were referring to. They had just seen season 2 of this show.
Oh, wow.
And I got to do something in the last episode that anybody of my age will understand as arguably the most important day in your life. And I got to play that in a way that was so perfectly written that I couldn't even practice it without feeling it. You try to, sometimes just for the sake of learning the lines, you just try to say, I'm not going to feel it, I'm just going to do the words. But the words were so perfectly constructed.
Look right at the camera.
It was impossible to say them dry. It would just. And I had these two guys with this look on their face that mirrored the look on my character's face when I was doing it. So I knew that's what they were. And they talked about it.
Spoiling anything.
But it's a privilege to do stuff like that. And you don't hardly get a chance to do it.
Yeah, definitely. One last thing I want to ask you is,
One of those gems.
without spoiling anything, how would you describe this new season in just a few words?
Absolutely.
Well, it
Functionally unaware.
takes off from where we left it. And, the thing that everybody's trying to do here, especially Joe, is leave the past in the past. You don't manage the past impeccably, you just can't shake it. It's like it's around you like a bell on your foot. And that's what he's trying to deal with. That alone. Yeah. He's trying to
A lot of weight
outrun the
shifting
past.
back and forth. in
Yeah,
this conversation.
definitely. Well, thank you so much for taking the time, and we look forward to watching season 3. Thank you.
Be well.
All right, Carly. Thanks for being here. We are here for season 3 of Dark Winds. You're a new addition. Your character is basically kind of a huge part of the second book, but it's kind of a different take on it. Can you talk a bit about your character?
Sure, absolutely. So I play Teddy Isaacs in season 3. Teddy is a grad student, and she is mentored by Dr. Reynolds, who is a very well-known archaeologist. And Teddy has joined Dr. Reynolds on the res. We are digging up archaeological sites, trying to prove Dr. Reynolds' theory about the Pleistocene culture. And so that's all to say, I feel like she's a little bit like Laura Dern in Jurassic Park, where she's very bright, she's very articulate, and she's very hardworking and enigmatic.
Can you talk a bit about getting to work with some of your co-stars? What was that like? And then getting immersed into that culture, like how important it was for you?
Zahn McLaren is one of my idols. I have told him a million times, I think he's one of the greatest actors of our generation. So when I first got to set on day 1 with him, I was terrified. You're acting across one of the greats. And Kiowa Gordon is just phenomenal and so charismatic. And so I felt like I was really nervous, but they were so welcoming and so kind and made me immediately feel comfortable. And so after day 1, I was like, I got this. And it was truly a dream come true. I'll never forget it.
Last thing I want to ask you is, what can audiences expect for this new season without spoiling anything? Like, how can you describe it?
Season 3 is epic. You are going to follow 2 separate mysteries. You are going to follow Lee Porn's personal drama and journey. Really great. And so what's incredible is season 3 is going to tie these 2 storylines together. So at the end, everything comes together in such a profound way. And I say that, like, truly after watching it, my jaw dropped to the floor. So it's incredible because you're following these separate mysteries and you're following this hero's or anti-hero, whatever you want to call Lee Porn, his personal journey, and by the end you're just blown away with how it all wraps up. So it's amazing.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for speaking with us, and we can't wait till just check out season 3.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Asmin, it's great having you here. Can you talk a bit about your character for this new season?
She's Mexican, and she gets caught in some trouble with her family, and police investigate a little bit, and just like a lot of different stories, kind of, and it's just a good series. You guys will really like it.
Good. So we're here to talk about season 3 of Dark Winds. What can you talk about with your character going into this new season?
Ivan Munoz, the character I play, is Border Patrol. He's doing some nefarious things until he meets Bernadette, who's kind of becomes his love interest in the show. So he becomes sincere and caring, and he has to change his ways.
We're dealing with 2 different storylines in this new season, and there's like so much going on with with the community, and then also with the Border Patrol. Like, what can you say is kind of like the most challenging for you? As far as your character goes with with this new season and this new mystery that's going on.
Character-wise, I think he's trying to keep a foot in both worlds, because he's doing some criminal things, and then but he's supposed to be doing some police work there as well, and doing some good work. So I think keeping a foot in both worlds becomes problematic, because Bernadette is so sincere about really wanting to do good. So I think she brings light, she brings love to him.
Zahn is my brother.
And I think that creates a lot of tension for him within the show, which adds something. And also, the love interest before the show, Kiowa being in it,
awesome experience.
was always teased about, but now she's fully in a romantic relationship. So I think that shows newer dimensions for her as well, and it brings more to that on the show, especially the love triangle.
Right.
Jim Chi, Bernadette, and then Ivan Munoz. So that adds like a really cool dynamic to it.
Yeah, definitely. The last question. My last thing I want to ask you is if you can describe this new season in a couple of words, how would you describe it?
I would say it's the South meeting the North. It's like on that level, like there's a Native American aspect, but then now we have the the border and the people from down south coming together. So I think that's a completion of what within indigenous communities. It's like we call it Turtle Islands. So even in storytelling, having both of those coming together, and it's a collision. It's like a collision.
So much uncertainty.
Well, thank you so much, and we look forward to checking out season 3. Thank you. We're going deep into season 3. What can you talk about where your character leads into this new season?
Well, we left him off at the end of season 2. He's back on the NTP, so we start 6 months later. He's back on the job as Leaphorn's right-hand man, and his point man, and just helping him solve cases quicker and more efficiently. So, and also my co-star Jessica Bernadette. We're kind of love interests, so I'm pining for her also.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff going on.
And what is that relationship like with you guys going into this season?
Well, it's kind of nice because we left off where she split up. She went to the Border Patrol at the end of season 2, and I stayed behind to kind of fill her shoes as sergeant for the time being. Hopefully she comes back. I don't know. But I'm just ready to get back into the community, back into the Navajo community and help out my fellow man.
Speaking of community, this show has been very important for basically with the community, with the Native American community. How is that important for you, being into the show for 3 years now?
3. I mean, it's awesome. It's really important to me and to everybody on this show, especially. And we just want to inspire the rest of the kids. We want to inspire the next generation to do what we do, or to do something else. Whatever it is that they want to do, that they're passionate about, follow it. And don't let anybody stop them. What they want to do, whether it be acting or directing or writing, just do it. That's what I say.
Yeah. So one last thing I want to ask you is, if you can describe the new season in a couple of words, what would it be?
Nice to see you again. bigger, faster, stronger. You know, it's just a fun, quick watch. I just binged episodes 2 through 6.
Oh wow!
And it's a really fast watch, and it leaves you wanting more. So I haven't seen 7 and 8 yet, so I'm super excited. But episode 6 is just chef's kiss, quality TV.
All right. Well, thank you so much for talking.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. Right. So, if you can talk a bit about where your character is leading into in this new season, without spoiling anything, of course.
I would say my character this season is leading into a whole nother dynamic with her husband, processing the loss of their son, and really coming to the foreground of what that looks like for them in their relationship as husband and wife. There's going to be a lot of emotional truths that are going to be pushed out of Leaphorn that Emma can sense. You know, she's definitely a woman who has great intuition, and you know, she understands that her husband works in a position that's just has a lot of information, a lot of energy around it. And so going back to our first season where we have the loss of the son, we're going to start seeing what that looks like now, how that's going to unpack, how that affected his soul. So, and both of them together, losing a child. I mean, it's like you find a new normal, and so in order to find that, you know, you got to lose yourself, I think, and I believe that's where Leaphorn is headed. And Emma she's praying that he's going to continue to find the right type of energy to get him out of it, but she's hopeful, but at the same time, she's very sad. She also is confused herself in what's going on in her processing too. So it's a lot of unraveling of this relationship, of this particular, this particular tragedy that happened. We definitely took it to the level of what a real life marriage would be. And so part of that was just taking the process as a natural relationship and how that develops for the character. And so it was so important because Zahn is such an amazing person as an actor. So it was just really easy I wouldn't say easy. It was just the chemistry, the energy that we were able to have together to really feel the feels. We owe it to these characters to really feel this loss, to show the tears, to show the laughter. So we really gave ourselves as storytellers, as actors, to really embrace that. And I just love that Zahn has that connection already naturally in him, and it just motivates me, and it just makes this whole process just so much more dynamic.
It was great seeing you.
One last thing I want to ask you. How would you describe this new season in just a couple of words?
I would say this season, for Emma specifically, and then as a whole for the show and what the cops are going through, it's terrifying. There's a lot of just nerve endings, and the hair of your neck is going to stick up.
Wow, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time, and thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so what can you talk about with this new season in regards to
specifically now focusing on the Navajo.
This season is just a further exploration of Leaphorn's Leaphorn family's tragedies that happened, specifically their son, and also find Joe in a little bit of a moral gray area this season, and dealing with some anxiety and some fear and some of the traumas, trying to reconcile some of the traumas of his past.
So I do this for my
How important was it for you playing this character for 3 years, and especially, you know, with the representation that you guys are having with this show? Like, how important was it for you just to be able to be in that environment?
It's really important for representation for natives in TV and film. You know, we've gotten a lot better.
I would say
Authenticity is very important to us, and we've got native writers, native directors, native producers. So we've come a long way in this business, and I think we still have a ways to go. But people are hungry for these stories. You know, they're seeing these stories from a unique cultural lean, and people are
I really appreciate it. Thank you
connecting
so much
with
for your
it.
positive feedback. Continue to
I'm glad
support.
they're connecting with Dark Wind.
You know,
We all have a line that runs down the middle of our heart. That line separates monsters from men. We're looking for 2 boys. And I think those boys stumbled across a monster.
broken.
Sylvia Washington, FBI.
See bad spirits around.
You spent your life helping others.
Tried to run from the things that I've done.
But your life is a lie.
I feel my time running out.
I need you to tell me everything.
I say, Lord, have mercy on my soul.
Is everything okay?
You're that guy you were telling me about. He's a person of interest in the murder. That man is a monster. There's no such thing as monsters. There's just people who do bad things.
I say, Lord,
I'm going to enjoy this.
mercy on my soul.
And other people do bad things. So stop them.
I say, Lord,